It was a historic milestone when the Church of Sweden decided on September 28, 1958, to open the priesthood to women. On Palm Sunday in 1960, Elisabeth Jurle, Ingrid Persson and Margit Salin were ordained, and over the next 10 years, 54 women were ordained as priests, among them Marianne Westrin. What then made this milestone possible? Historical research and the pioneers' own narratives point to the two important driving forces, vocation and recognition. Artist Birgitta Ahlberg Lindqvist has captured this in a sculpture located at the diocesan office in Lund, just next to the university. The sculpture depicts a procession heading into an ordination service with two women at the center, walking with proud steps and smiling, the expression of someone who has received recognition. Philosopher Axel Honneth has developed a theory of recognition as fundamental for human identity, fostering self-confidence, self-respect, and self-esteem. Recognition is so crucial that when people are denied it, struggles for recognition can arise, such as the movement for women's rights. In Sweden, women gained the right to vote in 1919 and the right to hold public office in 1923, with the exception of the priesthood, which was reserved for men only. The Church's Assembly's decision on September 28 can therefore be seen as part of a long struggle for recognition. According to Honneth, recognition occurs on different levels. The figures surrounding the two women in the sculpture represent recognition at all these levels. The legal and societal level, represented by the bishop, who acknowledges their human rights. The social level, represented by the other priests in the procession, who recognizes that the women have something valuable to contribute to the community. And their closest family and friends, who show recognition simply by being present in the church, and in great numbers. One example is Britta van Zyls' ordination in Lund Cathedral in 1963. The church was so crowded that the cathedral verger, Oskar Jönsson, had to enlist the dean to carry in extra chairs, a clear sign of the support and recognition that existed. The verger also assisted Britta in dressing her in the white vestments worn by all participants in the procession. These garments are white to symbolize baptism, which connects to the second key driving force behind the decision, the theology of vocation. In the Lutheran tradition of the Church of Sweden, the concept of the priesthood of all believers is emphasized. All baptized individuals are called and capable of proclaiming their faith in word and deed. At the same time, there is a special priesthood where suitable individuals are selected for priestly ministry. Historically, there have been two main understandings of this role. One emphasizes function, viewing the priest as someone who points to Christ. The other emphasizes essence, seeing the priest as someone who represents Christ. The latter has often been used as an argument to exclude women based on the reasoning that Christ was a man and chose only male apostles, and therefore only men can represent Christ. Similarly, two perspectives have shaped the understanding of gender. One emphasizes a creation order where men and women have different complementary roles, with women being subordinate to men, and the other, based on Galatians from the Bible, assert that through baptism all are one in Christ and thus equal. The 1958 decision was based on a theological understanding of vocation where the priesthood is a function that all baptized individuals can be called into. So thus, vocation and recognition were key driving forces, and they are also interconnected. Lutheran theology on vocation contributed to a view of humanity that ultimately fueled the struggle for recognition of women's rights in both society and the church. And at the same time, the struggle for equal rights reinforced a particular theological understanding of vocation within the Church of Sweden. However, as the sculpture reminds us, the decision in 1958 did not mark the end of the struggle for recognition. Alongside the procession, three figures stand apart, looking upset. They represent a different theological understanding of vocation and gender and were opponents of the reform. The first female priests' testimonies describe how this opposition sometimes manifested as what Honnet calls a refusal to grant recognition. They speak of exclusion, harassment, professors who refuse to register their grades, colleagues who sabotage their career opportunities, protests, and hate mail. September 28, 1958 was a milestone in the Church of Sweden and Swedish society, but the struggle for recognition continued and still continues today in churches and societies all over the world. The procession is still moving forward, driven by vocation and recognition. My name is Frida Mannerfelt from the Center for Theology and Religious Studies at Lund University. Thank you for listening.